Hi, I'm Michael Tabor.
Hi, I'm Brentley Buller.
Hi, I'm Kylan Herring.
Hi, I'm Grace Jewell.
The first question I have is, what is your character, and why do you like the story of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Okay. My character is Caractacus Potts, and he's like an eccentric inventor, a father of two, widower. I love the story because it's this it's like a timeless classic tale of a family that is looking to be completed again once more, and the car is kind of what brings them together and takes them on this magical journey.
So my character is Jeremy Potts, and why I like being my character is because, well, what my character is like is he is very, I'll say, good and kind. He's I can't think of any more adjectives for my character. The story about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, why I like it is because it has really good music and I sing it every day, especially in the shower, and my brother hates it.
I played Jemima Potts, and Jemima is like the older child, so kind of makes more of the decisions, keeps this one in check, and mainly she's just nice and kind, and definitely Grandpa's girl. The reason why I like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is because it's just really cool in my perspective. I like the music, I like the story, I like the meaning behind it. It's just amazing.
I play Truly. She's sort of a businesswoman turned motherly figure to these two children, not by her asking necessarily, but I love that these children just sort of immediately latch onto her. And I feel like I can relate to that in my own life, and the joy received from that attention from children who sort of look for your guidance. I think it's a very beautiful thing. I love Chitty Chitty Bang Bang for it's telling of stories of like unconventional families. I think that's beautiful. And I also just love everything whimsical. I'm totally attracted to like dreamlike storytelling, and I don't see a lot of that today. So it's very cool to like bring this back. And yes, and the music is really, really cool and eccentric and beautiful. Yeah.
If you're in Long Beach or SoCal, why must the community of Long Beach and the SoCal community must go to the Children's Theater Long Beach production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Well, it's going to be, I think, a different take than the traditional Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. There's some magical elements that Mark and Sean have put together that are unique and very collaborative with the whole ensemble cast. Visually, it's going to be a beautiful spectacle wonder to see. And then the dancing and music I think are going to be fantastic. It's more than fantastic.
Simply fantabulous.
So, mostly the reason why I want people to see this and all of that jazz, or whatever the question was, is because they missed my last show, Mamma Mia, which the songs still haven't been published.
We are not promoting that, Coon. Promote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, not Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia is not dead.
Mamma Mia is the best show ever.
Mamma Mia's dead. The reason why everyone should go see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is because it's gonna be more magical than ever, and no one else is gonna ever get to see anything like this.
I agree. These kids are so delightful on stage, and the joy you will feel watching them perform is absolutely will fill your heart with wonder. I think, yeah, like Michael said, the takes on this show specifically versus, say, the movie are really refreshing. I would say watching the movie, it's very heartfelt and it's very much nostalgic to childhood, but the show really packs it all into a really cool and spunky, if you will, stage play. So highly recommend coming to see it.
Come see us at the Ernest Borgnine Theater, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, coming in February.
Come on, see us. You'll be great.
Come see us at the Ernest Borgnine Theater performing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, or else the child catcher will come for you in your sleep.
There's level.
Come see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang at Ernest Borgnine Theater. It's going to be great.
Hi, I'm Mark Lamanna, and I am the stage director of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang for the Children's Theater of Long Beach. And come see the show, come check us out. And please stay tuned for this conversation I'm about to have with Buell. Who knows what he's going to ask?
First, when did you hear about the Children's Theater of Long Beach production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and why did you want to be part of this production?
Well, thinking about it, Sean McMullen and I have worked together since 2013. We've done about 12 shows together, and he asked me to do some show here. He just said, let's put on a show here. And we were considering My Fair Lady, and then we couldn't get the rights because there's another theater in town close enough by that we'd have to wait a year to do the rights. So I came up with the idea. I said, "Well, what about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Because it's for it's for children's theater, but it's an adult production that has a couple of children, but the show is predominantly for children." So thought, what a great way to start collaborating here with that.
Why do you like the story of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and also music that comes with it?
Well, I've known the musical since I was a kid. I mean, I had the album. I listened to it. I knew it backwards and forwards, and I loved every bit of it. And I wanted to be Dick Van Dyke, and so there's that aspect of it. I'm excited about doing it, and in fact, I've been saying this to friends that it's a musical you can actually take your family to. So there's parents and some kids, and while the story's going on and they're singing, I have you two, well, they have you two, or you three, or you one, or, there's a lot of looking at each other. And the show's warm, and I keep bringing out the warmth that's in the show, creating moments that, that create that. I want people to leave the theater feeling like they're going to have their own wonderful conversation on the way home in their car, and the show will be a joy to remember.
Can you talk about the themes that's in this production?
Oh goodness, I think about them all the time, but I don't stop and think to name them. It's about family. It's actually right in the beginning of the show. He's the Caractacus Potts character sings. Why do I do any of this? Why do I do any of it? It's to have someone to care for, to be there for. I have you two. And they end up singing, could be we three get along so famously because you two need me and I have you two too. And it starts right there. And then we have Grandpa. So it's about, it's a little bit of a non-traditional family because in the story, his wife has passed away. So it's it's him and his father who are raising the kids. And yet he feels a little guilty because he feels that he doesn't have quite everything that they need. And he overcompensates a little bit. And then they all meet Truly. Of course, they meet her by, she almost runs the car over the kids because they ran out in front of it. But the kids are immediately taken with her, and they're sort of nudging him to ask her out, and he's not ready to do that. And so here's another theme, I guess. It's he puts the children to bed, and he sings Hushabye Mountain. And then in this version, the set's going to be lovely. The children sleep in a caravan that was actually the caravan that Potts and his wife lived in when they traveled with the carnival. And they moved this caravan when they left the carnival to this plot of land, and he built a house around it. So the children sleep in the caravan. And then once they're asleep, he climbs a staircase that goes to the top where it's sort of an attic. And he opens up a hat box that is shaped like a carousel, and he looks at his wife's hat, and he sings the last third of the song to her. And then he gets the idea, because he's also, just before the kids went to bed, he tousles Jeremy's hair and goes, "You need a haircut." So he gets the haircut idea. He's reminded of the caravan because he's talking to his deceased wife. And he suddenly realizes, the haircutting machine, and he takes it to the carnival and begins the process of getting the money to get the car.
I'm assuming most people have seen the movie, but for those who haven't, what is the basic story of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Okay, two kids who spend the summer playing in the local junkyard that Mr. Coggins owns, and there is an old race car from a few years ago, a race car that won the Grand Prix 3 times, and now it's a junk heap. And they play with it, and they pretend that they're racing. That's how the show opens, is they're pretending to race. And we also see the race that they're talking about 3 years before. It's this lovely little song called "Oh, What a Car." And while they're there that day, a junk man comes and says to Coggins that he'd like to buy the car. And the kids are horrified. You can't, you promised we could play. And he says, well, if you can come up with 30 shilling, 30 bob, you can have the car. So they run home and say, Daddy, you've got to buy the car for us. And he hasn't got any money. So he sees that this thing is really important, and he figures out a way to get some money, and he gets some money, and he buys the car, and he restores the car. And they go on a little adventure to the beach. They bring Truly Scrumptious, who almost ran over the kids with the car. And an adventure starts because Grandpa is mistaken for the person that restored the car, and he's kidnapped. And so I can't say more than that. I've said too much.
You mentioned about the music. Why do you love it, and why is it so catchy that the audience will love it and sing it after they see this performance?
It's phantasmagorical, a fuel-burning oracle. It's got fantastic lyrics. It's just they melt in your mouth, and the tunes are catchy. They're memorable. They're joyous. There's a lot of joy in this music.
Did you want to talk about the actors, or about the main lead
Oh,
actors?
I love my cast. I handpicked my cast. I love my cast. I mean, what more can I say about that? I love my cast. The main 4 are fantastic. Grandpa, the kids are wonderful. Michael's wonderful. Grace is wonderful. I've worked with Grace about 4 times. I taught her when she was in high school. So I've known her for a long time too. Scott, who plays Grandpa, is fantastic. And the Baron and the Baroness are fantastic. And Boris and Goran are fantastic. The cast is wonderful. We're having a great time. And the chorus is fantastic. The dancing, it's really good. So, yeah.
And when you say another character is all the stuff that Sean and the set people are creating, it almost it adds.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's one of the things that Sean and I think of when whatever the show is that we happen to do is that the set is a character in the show. The set tells a lot of the story. So we spend a lot of time poring over what part of the stage it's going to be, what it's going to look like. Does it have levels? Does it have doors? Yeah, it's a lot of thought goes into the whole thing.
Tell us why the Children's Theater Long Beach always puts on amazing productions, and why is it great for the families that participate and just see the show?
Well, we do so many things on that little computer box, and we do an awful lot on these little rectangles, and we observe a lot of life on the rectangle. But when you sit in a theater with other living human beings and you're breathing together and laughing together, and you find you're laughing more because you didn't realize something was funny till you heard somebody else laugh and you realize, that was funny. It's a lot of fun. Then you're hearing singing live. It's three-dimensional. It's real. It's real. I mean, the show is a fantasy, but living actors on a stage acting and singing and dancing is real. And so you receive something in your own body watching real people do something. So I am all for live theater. And in this particular children's theater, again, I'm talking about Sean. He's a great friend of mine, and I've known him a long time. And when he was putting this together, I was helping push him because it really is a tremendous match. His energy matches what the vision of CTLB actually is. And just hundreds of kids come through here, and they become enriched by participating, and their families become enriched by watching them participate. And yeah, it's just a very, very good thing.
To add on that, why is live theater good for the soul?
It's all about breathing, which I say that to the cast constantly. Like if they're in trouble and not figuring out what to do, breathe. It's in your breathing. We're breathing together. And especially, I won't say especially because it's always been true. But after COVID, we were afraid to breathe near another person. And here we can breathe again. We can breathe together again. And we can breathe life into a show right in front of you. And participating is breathing too, because the actors can't do it without the energy that the audience actually brings. And so this energy is created, and you can't create that by yourself.
That is true. And also, they probably should come more than once, because every theater day can be a little bit different, correct?
Oh yeah. I've seen a lot of shows more than once. There's a lot of shows I've seen more than once, and I would suspect that a lot of people are going to see this show and go, I really want to come in a couple of weeks and see it again, because it's that good.
For those people in Long Beach and SoCal, why must the community of Long Beach and the SoCal community, why must they go see the Children's Theater of Long Beach production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Well, must is such a, yeah, you must come see it. Why must they come see it? You ought to come see it. You'll be so glad you saw it that you will be telling your friends, and they'll say, really, I should see it. Oh, you've got to see this. It's so much fun, because it's going to make your heart open. It's going to make you feel glad to be alive. I work in a lot of opera. I mean, there's so many things that can make you feel alive, but this gentle little story that has outrageous humor, and these beautiful kids who are acting up a storm, and they sing so well. It's like a good meal. It's like a good meal, but it's not too sugary. It's like really nutritious. It's gonna a week later, you're gonna go, I really loved that show. I'm so glad we went. So that's why you must come see the show.
Because you have worked with this theater before, you know that ticket sales only pay for part of the production. So why should the local community help by volunteering or donating or sponsoring the theater productions also?
Because anything you want for your community is worth spending time on. And this is a place where kids have a place to go. They have a place to go. There are a lot of kids in this world that don't like sports, or they like sports, but they also like theater. But there's a lot of kids that like music and theater predominantly. And here is a place where they can actually participate in any way they want. They can work on sets, lights, costumes. They can work on programs if that's what they're interested in. They can act in the show, dance in the show, sing in the show. It creates community. And I think every community should have a children's theater. Hi, I'm Mark Lamanna, and I am the stage director of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang for the Children's Theater of Long Beach. And together with Sean McMullen, he's the artistic director, but together we artistic direct a lot of the shows. So I'm not artistic director, but I act as, you get what I'm saying. And come see the show, come check us out. And the show is affordable. Come see us.
Hi, I'm Ann Gundry,
And I'm Katie Davis.
and we are part of a production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. If you want to know more about the show,
Please come watch our interview.
First question, when did you hear about the Children's Theater of Long Beach production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? And why did you want to be part of this production?
Ooh.
well, I'm a regular on Backstage, and I saw a listing for it, and I clicked because I was pretty sure that Children's Theater of Long Beach was going to be doing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and I went ahead and applied for it. I've worked with CTLB before and have always had a wonderful time doing so, and so that's why I applied for it. Plus, I just like the frivolity and joy in this production.
See, I have been working with CTLB and their children's program for the last couple of years, and of course knew that we were going to be doing this production. And I mean, how could I not want to jump on this? And of course, auditioned for it right away.
Why do you like the musical Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and the story that goes with it?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang because it's showing that even if you have a fractured family, there's joy to be found and in sometimes surprising places. And there's a little magic that's always around.
Yeah. I love how it explores the themes of loneliness while still also being in the theme of a child's imagination. That really speaks to me.
Tell us about your characters, the spies, and where does the audience first see and hear them? And tell us any more you want about the spies.
Oh, goodness.
Well, you're Boris and I'm
Goran.
so we're, as you put it, each one half of a strange person.
That's putting it kindly.
Yeah. We're not the brightest people, but we have good hearts, and we are trying to do the best for the Baron and Baroness to get that car that the Baron wants. And we're the comic relief.
Oh, yeah. And we really jump right out the gate. You see us right after the opening number.
Yeah. And then we keep popping up.
And tell us how just working together with these characters, why you enjoy it.
Oh, golly.
I love working with Katie. She's amazing.
Yeah.
We just kind of like vibe off each other. And
Yeah.
like the things that she'll do, all of a sudden there'll be a bit that I can think of, and like, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And it just,
We will just look at each other and we'll just simultaneously come up with the same bit. And it's like we're sharing a brain a lot of the time, which is fantastic
It
when
is.
you need to be a comedy team. It's been wonderful,
You
really.
have such good instincts for what to do.
So do you. It's been wonderful,
It has
honestly.
Is there a possibility you two will break off and like do comedy skits after this?
Oh, I can imagine we are at the very least going to be doing a lot more projects and shows together.
Oh, I would hope so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, this has been fantastic. Fantastic experience.
Tell us why the children of Long Beach put on such an amazing productions every time, and why is it great for families that participate and also go to the shows?
Oh, wow. I could write an entire thesis on this subject. Like I said, I have been working on all the productions at CTLB for the last few years as choreographer. And I can say that one of the main things I love about CTLB is inclusivity and allowing children to be themselves. That I know is, for me personally, just a treasure, really. And on top of that, just putting on beautiful, honest productions with children. It's a joy. It's a dream job, really.
This company in particular does some things that I think are unusual in children's theater. We have social emotional warm-ups so that we're dealing with the whole child. We're not just dealing with, you go there, you memorize this, you sing this song, you dance this dance. It's trying to give them coping skills for when things, life is hard. School is hard. Families are hard. And doing theater is hard. But if you've got the skills, the emotional skills to deal with it, that really, it kind of ripples out into the rest of your life. You can know how then to cope with other things that come up in your life. And so this is really teaching a lot of life skills.
Looking at the child as a whole and not just a performer.
And being able to participate as a family is just a joy. The Pirates of Penzance last year, there were whole families that participated. And that also was just a real joy.
I don't have this written down because you're talking about this. Tell us about, the founders, their passion, and why their guiding light is so important for this theater.
Sean McMullen, this has been a dream of his for a number of years, and I believe it's 11 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, since we sat down at a table in Seal Beach and said, hey, can we make this happen? Can we make this happen? And he has been working on this ever since, and it really has blossomed. We're doing a lot of school programs throughout the city, and sometimes outside of the city, depending on who needs us. It's just been wonderful in this community.
Yeah. The dedication from the entire McMullen family is just, it seems boundless, endless. Sean McMullen as producer, and Becky McMullen as our mental health coordinator, from Hannah as our costume designer, and from Susan McMullen from our set designers.
Set, lights, and sound, everything.
Everything that you could think of tech-wise.
Yeah.
Oh, that woman is a wizard.
Totally. And Sean also is a wizard, just making a set that feels elegant and lived in, but using materials that, like, sometimes cardboard, but it still looks great. And I think it's due to his efforts, but and a lot of other people's efforts that children's theater has gone from a very small organization to now being the more robust version that we have now.
And continually growing.
If you're in Long Beach or SoCal, why must the community of Long Beach and the SoCal community must go to the Children's Theater Long Beach production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
The magic.
Yeah, magic and family and fun and good humor and seeing some amazing kids. We've got these two leads that play Jeremy and Jemima, and they are just amazing. They crack me up. So they're incredibly talented and have been working so hard. Everybody on the cast is working
The
hard.
talent across the board is just amazing.
And we have teenagers who are in the ensemble doing the dance numbers. And then we have older people. We have the whole age range here.
Tell us more about the director of the show.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah, Mark LaManna is our director for the show. And he has been a real joy to work with.
I think he's just brilliant. I have been a sponge around him.
He has a long history of both teaching and performing and dancing. He's got such an amazing backstory himself. And he's able to, especially with the kids, I am so impressed with how wonderful he is with getting the kids to understand. And that's really key.
Yeah.
Being able to understand their character and what's happening in the scene so that the kids then can convey that to the audience. And he's a delight to work with.
Oh, yeah. And so interesting. I know me as both an actor and a choreographer, I feel like I learned something new from him at each rehearsal. And it's just incredible, the things I see him do.
Yeah.
Don't have her into it. I always ask this question. As you know, a theater, the tickets don't sell the price of the production. So why should the local community in SoCal, Long Beach, why is it important to them to support it both by volunteering or donating money?
Well, as you know, ticket prices barely pay for the rental of a theater. I mean, that's across the board in any theater. And then you have sets and costumes and lighting and all the tech people that are involved and renting the rights for it. So there's a lot that goes into production that people don't actually see when they come in to a theater and sit in that seat. They see the seat in the theater and they see the production, but it's hard to figure out where all those other intangibles are coming from for them. So just knowing that all of that goes on behind the scenes and knowing that that needs to be covered as well for a company to survive, I would just like to invite people to experience this theater and to understand the worth that not only it brings to the community as people seeing the show, but to the kids who participate in the show, because there's lots and lots of value for those who participate.
Yeah. I know for me, it's really all about the kids who are there. So I think really, if not for anything else, it's for them to have a place for them to explore creatively and explore themselves. And they have a whole community of friends and teachers and people that, they trust and they confide in, and keeping it afloat is, I think, worth it in itself.
We also have a really wonderful set of volunteers, parents that support by helping out when we do children's productions, helping out backstage, helping with concessions, that sort of thing. So I'd just like to thank them for all their years of benefit to the organization.
Yeah, they really help keep us afloat. Couldn't do it without them. Hi, I'm Katie Davis.
And I'm Ann Gundry.
And please come watch our production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
If you'd like to see some humor,
Some magic.
a flying car,
Ooh.
and some really fun theater songs and dances,
come on down. Come see our show.
Yeah, come see our show.
Hi, I'm Sean McMullen of Children's Theater of Long Beach. And if you want to learn more about our organization, I hope you listen to this conversation and get involved.
When did you create Children's Theater of Long Beach? Why did you need to create the theater? Why is this nonprofit such a passion for you, for your family, and the local community?
So it's why, when, and why is it my passion? Is that correct? Did I get that right? Okay. Well, I'll maybe out of order here. When I did it was 2013, but really it started before that as a project for the PTA for an elementary school that my daughter was attending. That's where it started. And then other parents from other schools would come and see that school's production and say, can you do it over here? Can you do it over there? And we'd say, well, not really. We're just part of the PTA. Until a few of us on the PTA said, you know what? Why don't we start a nonprofit? So the when was 2013. The why was because other parents at other schools were reaching out and saying, we'd like a program like this. Could you come over to our school and do that? So that's the why. And the reason I'm passionate about it is for the same reason that I started the program and signed my name to, you know, a little clipboard was going around at the first PTA meeting when Becky and I, my wife and I were there because Hannah was going to be a kindergartner. And it was all the volunteer stuff that the PTA does. And there was all of these, you know, lines that were already filled in, people taking care of the soccer club and people taking care of the after school reading club. And the slots that were empty were the theater club. So we signed up for that thinking this is where our daughter will fit in. She's going to need something like this. And clearly there's other kids here that they're thinking that might need it. And it turned out that at some point, about halfway through my tenure at that school, we wound up with half the school in the program. So we had 250 children in the after school program at that school at one point.
Very cool. Tell us more about the Children's Theater of Long Beach vision, mission, and values.
They're all tied up together, but our vision is to bring children's theater to after school programs to every elementary school in Long Beach that wants one, regardless of whether or not that school or those parents can afford the fees. And that's why we seek out grants and offer scholarships. We've done fully free programs before. So that's our mission, is to make sure that the arts and theater arts go into as many elementary schools and junior highs as possible. Our values are that we're not only here to teach kids how to act, sing, dance, but we're here to teach them how to be better human beings to themselves and to society. And so we have a huge mindfulness component. Call it what you will, social emotional learning. It's really a way to look at your own emotions, because a lot of kids get taught some pretty advanced techniques by other groups and by us as well. A lot of them are, you know, there's two ways to approach a character: inside out and outside in. And if you're going inside out, you're doing things like sense memory work. And sometimes it's sad sense memory work. And you have to go back and think about unfortunate things that have happened to you, because that's what's happening to your character on stage. And the mindfulness and the SEL work that we do with the kids helps them not only deal with what they have to go through as an actor, but they can use it throughout their life, for the rest of their life, to be in touch with their own emotions and how to communicate with other people. So it's a lot about active listening and really being connected to other people, because those are life skills, not just skills that we use on stage. So bringing theater and theater arts to every school, and then making better people.
Talk about all the programs that your theater offers. Just tell us all, both the school part in the schools and also the theater productions you offer.
Right. So we have the after school programs, which are dedicated to the schools and only available to the kids in that school. And then we have a program called the Weekender program that is open to anyone in the district or out of the district. Those are obviously on the weekends. They rehearse both Saturday and Sunday. And then we have something called our family stage, which rehearses during the week in the evenings, but it's open to anybody ages 7 to 700. And we just did a project this summer with our family stage. We do it every summer. And then we also have sort of an offshoot, kind of like Touchstone was an offshoot of Disney back in the day. And that's for adults and teens primarily. We have at times included younger people. We're doing that right now with one of our projects, but not for the leads. There are younger kids under the age of 12 are only allowed to be ensemble in those productions. It's called ARC, Artist Repertory Collective, and it's a self-producing entity. So everybody there comes up with the budget and then shares the profits at the end, because they then pay a portion of the producing fees. It's not like a fee to be in it, because they're kind of the people that have gone past learning how to act, sing, dance, and now are interested in learning how to be a producer, a director, a prop designer, a costume designer, a set designer. And they have sort of those skills and they would like to use them and maybe make a little bit of money doing it. So it's a semi-professional component of our company.
What is your process in creating a production, one of those two productions? How do you bring everybody together to actually do those two different types of production?
We sort of have a core team that works across all of the different fields, and they oversee other volunteers. So then we get volunteers typically specific to each production. We have a wonderful parent group, our PSST, who support the Weekenders and the after school program, and sometimes ARC. They come in and they help support all of the front of house things. So concessions, ushering, box office, meals, craft service. They take care of all of that front of house stuff. And then the backstage tech stuff is through our sort of in-house team. And then sometimes we will hire in or bring in volunteers, a lot of student volunteers, high school volunteers. We also who get hours. So if they need like volunteer hours, they can come to us and we can be their volunteer hours for running Spotlight or making costumes or whatever it is that they're interested in volunteering for.
I didn't see on the website, do you also do like small showcases, or is that not what you do?
From time to time, yes. It's not, it used to be, we used to have a cabaret series ages ago. We had a person who was down here in Southern California who was heading that team up. And they're not here. So we sort of phased that out during the pandemic because they moved away. But we're hoping they move back and can head that up and start it back up again. Or if somebody else steps forward and is interested in doing that. It looks like we're going to be doing actually a collaboration with a good friend of mine from many years ago who is a poet and now a published poet and is doing a book signing tour. And so we're looking to do a collaborative event where he's going to read portions of his book, and maybe some of our students are going to either write music using his poems as lyrics, or have his poem read while they do a dance to it, or so it'll be involved, or they'll come and read their own poetry, or their own short stories or scenes. It's kind of like, sort of like The Moth, but add dance and singing. So that's going to be fun.
For all those productions, what do you want the audience to get out of the theater performances?
Joy. I really just want them to go away joyful and reinvigorated that this coming generation is wonderful, and that it's going to be okay. Ultimately, children's theater, and I think theater in general, not only as a place where we come and we question and we tackle the hard problems, but children's theater specifically, I think, is a place to be rejuvenated, to come and see young people striving for their futures and telling stories of people far older than them in many cases, and grappling with what their future looks like, and smiling while they do. And I think it always fills me up, and I come away feeling better about the world and the way things are going to be after every rehearsal. So that's what I hope our audiences feel.
Why must or should the viewers or the theater community attend these productions?
Well, because kids need your support, ultimately. You should come because it's just good theater, first of all. On the other side of that, there's a huge educational component to that, and supporting educational theater ensures that educational theater continues, right? That if I don't get a grant, if you're there in the house, you become that grant, because there's Money Minute, where we do a direct appeal for our scholarship programs, and we've been able to keep our scholarship programs flush. So we've never had to worry about, will a kid be able to be in our programs? We have your scholarships that you help us provide for those kids. And so that's why. Come and support it, because it's an important thing for kids to be in, and you help ensure that that will continue.
What would you tell Long Beach and SoCal children and families why they should get involved with the Children's Theater of Long Beach programs?
Because not only is it good, solid training in acting, singing, and dancing, you're going to get legit stuff. All of us have degrees. So we've all come to it very, not only legitimately, where we've all been professionals before, but we got those professional gigs because we all did it academically. So everybody that we employ has a degree in either music, dance, or theater. And on the other side of that is not just, is it a theater training program, but we have the psychological mindfulness component as well. That is, again, not taught by acting teachers, but taught by actual licensed therapists. We have many on the board. I think we have three currently on the four. We have four on the board. So, and those four therapists show up at rehearsal and lead the kids in mindfulness and social emotional learning exercises at the same time that we're warming up their voices and we're warming up their bodies for dance, and doing acting warm-up exercises. They get to do those as well, so that they come in the right mental space.
What would you tell other professional performers, actors, playwrights, and directors why they should get involved and volunteer with your theater?
I think because of that, I think because of the well-roundedness of our theater, and because we really are here to, again, try and make better people, and uplift kids and help them achieve their goals. And so if you want to be part of a theater company that is reaching into a child's life beyond the stage, and beyond just the standard stuff that you take away from theater, which is self-esteem, which any theater experience is going to do, baseline. But if you really want to reach into helping a kid set their life goals, come join us.
I think you covered this over all your answers, but tell me again why your theater is such unique children's theater.
Sure. Well, we started, again, out of the need of a place for theater kids to be, first of all. And that's ultimately all children's theaters are that. But because we began as a nonprofit, as opposed to a for-profit theater company, which some of the children's theaters are just for-profit companies. When we were really looking at the makeup of our board, we looked around and realized, we've got teachers and therapists and doctors, and we wanted to go deeper than just theater and musical theater training. And we wanted to look at how theater affects the life of a child. And so one of our board members, her thesis was on what children's theater does for children. And she noticed all the connectivity between mindfulness, and the child psychology portion of it. And then on the other side of that, the academics were looking at how to create a character. You're always setting goals and looking at the tactics to reach those goals, and identifying within a script all of the hurdles or the obstacles that character has to get around, and realize that is beneficial for academic planning, life planning. Like, where do you want to go to school? How are you going to get to that school, right? What are the tactics you're going to take while you're in school to get that application to that school and have them see you, right? And then once you're in that school, how are you going to get the job that you want next, right? So if we teach you how to set goals, create tactics to achieve those goals, we're not only teaching you how to act, right? Because that's acting technique. We're teaching you how to human, essentially. So our everything that we do really attaches itself to the whole child and the experience of growing and trying to make not just good actors, singers, and dancers, but just good citizens, good people that you would trust and want to be around in society, and the next generation that we can entrust, our country to. So, not to be too patriotic, but like, I'm sort of patriotic.
This next question I always ask is, as you know, the theater cost of paying for a ticket doesn't cover the play or all the programs. So why are theaters like the Children's Theater of Long Beach so important and needs the community's help and support, not only by going to the theater, but also supporting it with donations?
Right, because as you're familiar with, I think most people are familiar with children's theater, there's a kind of a pay-for-play component to it, right? There's, it's a fee because it's typically framed as an academy or a school. Kids are taking classes, right, to learn how to do something. So it's tuition, essentially. But that tuition, we certainly don't set that tuition anywhere even close as high as the next lowest tuition at a children's theater in Long Beach. So that doesn't fund us entirely. And then, of course, our ticket sales, we want to make sure everyone can attend. So we don't price our tickets as high as many of the other children's theaters or theaters in general. So again, that doesn't entirely fund us. But what does fund us are grants and those donations. So private individual donations, people who come in and underwrite certain portions of a show. So, if you are looking for something to invest in, this is it, because you're investing not just in frivolity and fun, you're investing in a child's future, because we're not just teaching how to, do a high kick and sing a high C. We're teaching a kid how to get to their dreams.
And one question I haven't asked you yet, where do these theater productions happen? Is it a permanent location or is it rotating?
Oh, yeah. Well, we've been all over. We are kind of an itinerant. We don't own our own space, but we partner primarily with the Scottish Rite Event Centre, and 99% of our performances take place in the historic Ernest Borgnine Theatre that is in that building. It is the last of its kind here in Long Beach. It was built in 1926, so next year is its 100th birthday. So that final show is not only sort of a celebration of Dick Van Dyke's 100th, but it'll also be the Ernest Borgnine's 100th birthday. And it's beautiful. It looks like an old Broadway house because it was designed by the same designers that were designing vaudeville houses all over America. The backdrops that are there are also historic, many of them over 100 years old, actually, because they were brought in from other locations that had closed down when that was the new facility. So they brought the old drops from the 1890s into the new theater. And they're about to be restored this October. There is a grant that the Ernest Borgnine Theater acquired to bring in a specialist, and they're going to be training scenic artists to restore all of the historic drops and bring them back to, some of them are not usable currently. So every drop, there's over 100 drops will all be usable by people who rent that house. So we're in there and we rent the house, partner with them, and it's also available for other rentals. It is, as I say, it is the de facto Long Beach Civic Auditorium. It is the one place where community groups, if you have a dance company, if you have an ethnic festival of some kind, that they rent the ballroom, they rent the stage, they rent the parking lot and have huge festivals. And it's a wonderful, wonderful place. So if you're curious at all about what a vaudeville stage used to look like, come and see our show. And you will see one that's perfectly preserved. Well, my name is Sean McMullen. I'm with Children's Theater of Long Beach. And if you enjoyed this discussion, please come and get involved. Be a producer, be a volunteer, or just buy a ticket and come to the show. We hope to see you in the theater.